Hi guys, we're going to go ahead and review Unit 2. So I'm going to work through a few of these and then it will be your job to finish them on paper and then upload them for us for your bonus points on your test. So this first one we've got parentheses, so we're going to have to distribute. Okay, now remember, solving inequalities is the exact same as a regular equation. You just now have the inequality symbol. So we're going to distribute 3x plus 3, that minus 5 is still there, and the 6x plus 17 is still on the other side. Now we're going to combine like terms. So we've got this 3 minus 5, so that gives us negative 2. We still have our 6x plus 17. Now we want all of our x's on the same side, so I'm going to minus 3x from both sides. Remember, x's can only go with x's, numbers only go with numbers. Okay, now we're going to subtract our 17. That gives me negative 19 on this side and 3x on this one. Okay, I'm going to divide by 3. Okay, so that gives me negative 19 on one side over 3, and then is greater than x. So there's your first one. Okay, and I'm going to kind of jump around. I'm not going to work out all of them on this page, but we're going to do a few. Looking at the one underneath it, okay, we've got distribution again, so I'm going to draw my line. My negative 2x plus 7 stays the same. My negative x right here is the same. That 5 is going to be distributed, so plus 5x minus 5. Okay, we're going to combine things that match, so I've got a negative x and a positive 5x. It gives me 4x minus 5 on this side, negative 2x plus 7 on the other. We want all of our x's on the same side, so I'm going to add 2x. Add 2x, so that gives me 6x minus 5 on this side and 7 on this side. I add my 5. 7 plus 5 is 12, so I'm going to continue this over here. Okay, so I've got 12, 6x. I divide by 6. That gives me 2, same symbol, is greater than x. Okay. Move right along. I'm going to look at number 6. So I'm going to draw my line. Okay, I'm going to subtract my 8. Subtract my 8. That gives me 8 on this side and negative 2x on this side. So here's where we're going to have the one thing that's different between inequalities and equations is when I divide by a negative, okay, or I multiply by a negative, I'm going to have to flip this sign. So when I do that, I put a big star so that I remember when I do 8 divided by negative 2, I get negative 4. I also have to flip my sign. So instead of it being open to my 8 side, it's now going to be open to my 4. I mean to my x. Okay, there's one of those. Okay, look at number 7. I'm going to scoot this up a little bit. Here we go. We've got a fraction. So we're going to distribute that fraction to everything in those parentheses. So a third times negative 6 is just negative 2x. And then a third times negative 6 is just negative 2. So nice fraction disappeared. Want all of our x's on the same side, so I'm going to add 2x. Add 2x. Okay, x's go with x's, so I've got 1 plus 3x and my negative 2 over here. I subtract my 1 to move it over. I get negative 3, and I have 3x over here. I divide by my 3, and that gives me negative 1 is less than x. Okay. I'm going to go through and do this number 10 on the bottom. Okay. So we've got 7 is less than negative 3x, so I add my 8 because I'm going to move it away from my x. That gives me 15 on this side, negative 3x on this side. I'm dividing by a negative, so remember when we divide by a negative or we multiply by a negative to solve for x, put that big star so that we know that we've got to switch our sign. So this gives me negative 5 on this side, x on this side, but we have to flip our sign. So it's going to be negative 5 is greater than x. Okay, so there's the first side. If you're wanting your bonus points, you can work out number 2, number 4, number 5, number 8, and number 9 on a piece of paper and submit those. Make sure that you get those done so that you can have those extra 5 points on your test. Now we're going to look at the back. So this is where you have two word problems. I'm going to work through both of them so you don't have to worry about those. So a crane cable can support a maximum load of 15,000 kilograms. If a bucket has a mass of 2,000 kilograms and gravel is 15,000 kilograms for every cubic meter, this should be 1,500. It's a typo. Okay, how many cubic meters of gravel can be safely lifted by the crane? So remember, it's a max load of 15,000. So that means that what I'm going to put in it has to be less than or equal to that. So in order to figure out how much goes in my crane, I'm going to have my 2,000 kilogram bucket plus my 1,500 kilogram per cubic meters of gravel. So that's going to be my equation. I'm going to subtract 2,000 because we're solving for x. That gives me 13,000. Remember, everything's still the same. We got 1,500 x. Then we're going to divide that 13,000 by 1,500, and you get 8.6. Okay, now it says how many cubic meters of gravel. That's how much you're going to have to be able to safely lift in the crane. So your cubic meters of gravel has to be less than or equal to 8.67. Now if I were going to round that to cubic meters, I'd have to round down. Okay, if I were going to have to round. Because you can't go up because it can't safely carry that extra capacity. Okay. Your last one is the perimeter of a rectangle cannot be greater than 35 units. So 35 units, that means the perimeter, what I'm looking for, has to be less than or equal to my 35 units. The length is 2x, the width is 7. So what is the maximum value of x? So if we're looking at our rectangle, it says my length is 2x, my width is 7. Okay, so we have to add all those up in order to get our perimeter. So 2x plus 2x is 4x. 7 plus 7 is 14. Now I'm going to solve for my x. So we want the maximum value. So minus 14. That gives you 21 on this side. 4x on this side. Divide by 4. And that gives you 5.25. So your x has to be less than or equal to 5.25. Okay? If you have any questions, check into your office hours. But good luck on your test this week, and have a great day.